Hetty is here. Chatting about farts as usual. Dun dun dun. There you go.
In a world desperate to tear itself apart, only one man, and some other people, stand in the way of total destruction. Together they will right the wrongs, make bad, good, and single-handedly destroy evil, together. Who is this man, you may ask? This man is Geoff.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Geoff Jones and Friends Make It Better. The show that takes one of life's little annoyances, gives them a microphone, a podcast and a guest, and the unwavering ego to believe he can make everything better. Today I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by comedian and podcaster and Wind
Supreme.
Hetty Austin. Hetty, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Geoff. Thank you. That's a lovely welcome.
Sorry, I wasn't gonna make it wind related, but
No, I want it to be. I want to wave the flag for windy women.
just or help it wave.
Help it sail.
Help it sail.
Yeah. That's what I want. No shame here.
Man, thank you so much for joining me. It's an absolute pleasure, and please let's get going. What is it we are making better today?
We are making better. Are we pretending we haven't spoken for like an hour?
Yeah,
okay.
I've never met you before.
Okay. I would like to make better losing weight.
Yeah.
And I want it to be losing weight. I don't like the cover of getting healthy. I don't like that. That annoys me. I don't like that at all. No, I'm losing weight. I weigh this much. I want to weigh this. Don't add health into it. I mean, obviously it is health, but
yeah.
And when I watched the Barbie movie early in the year, and she was like, "Oh, you're not supposed to say you want to be thin now. You've got to say you want to be healthy." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. You're right."
Is it an aesthetic thing? I don't care about health risks or any of that malarkey. I just want to feel good and look good.
Do you know what I think it is? I think it is a hangover from like the 90s and noughties diet culture of, like where we lived in a world where Bridget Jones was fat, and obviously she's not. And I think everyone's a bit scared of saying, "Oh, I want to lose weight now," so we cover it by saying I want to be healthy, but actually everyone means I want to lose weight. And I own it, say what it is. I'm this size, I want to be this size. It's okay to say that. Say it. You might get a lot of hate for that. I have had quite a lot of hate, but
really,
yeah. So I should clarify, when I say losing weight, I don't mean, oh, I want to shift a few pounds because I've got a holiday in Ibiza. I lost 10 stone in 18 months.
10 stone in 18?
Yeah. So we're talking like saving your life, losing weight,
That's well done. That's
mad. Thank you. And like traditional way, no surgery. Yes. And now I'm losing a bit that I put on over Christmas. So I'm back into the calorie deficit world, and I hate life for a little bit, but it's part of the process.
First that is because when people come on the show, I never quite know where we're going to go with it. And I thought, maybe it's just that new year, new me. She wants to lose a bit of weight, and no one likes it. But actually, you undertook a massive journey.
Yeah. I've halved myself. I've saved my life.
That's mad. Okay, if you're okay with it, like, what was the catalyst? How did it start?
It was my own vanity in the end that got me. So it was I've always been overweight my entire life. Always. Always like, I'll try to shift a bit, but I could never did it. I've never really wanted to be honest. I just just didn't. Lockdown happened, and I think lockdown did like a lot of damage to a lot of people, and then it got out of hand. And I had something that was going wrong with my face. I can't really describe it. It was like my eyes were going crusty, and I had like this constant rash around my lips, and the doctors didn't know what it was. and they just kept testing me for bloods and stuff, and I saw that they were testing me for fatty liver. That's all I knew, because no one ever got back to me about it. But it got so bad that I couldn't wear red lipstick, and I thought, that's it. I can cope with everything. I could just get bigger clothes. I can deal with being out of breath walking down the street, but not being able to wear red lipstick, I'm done. I'm out.
You pick the crust out your eyes. That's fine. But the red lipstick,
no, it's not a world that I want to live in. I can't wear red lipstick.
That's it. That's just the straw that broke the camel's back, was it? Because like, you're right. You did people. You make allowances. I say you as a general. You make an allowance. Oh well, actually, this. I like this outfit, so it's fine.
I knew that it was going to come to bite me at some point. I knew that I was going to have some sort of illness with it at some point. I was just lucky that it was one that caused vanity for me to be like, no, I'm done. They weighed me, and I was like, oh my god, that's quite a big number. And so I'd already had a personal trainer. I'd had a personal, because if you're overweight and you're overweight for years, it's something you're constantly doing, but I wasn't really doing. If that made sense. So I'd had a personal trainer for a couple of years, and good credit to him, Ben, if he's ever listens to it. He won't, but he will not. Too much effort. But he never ever mentioned weight to me once, and it was only when I went in and said, look, I want to lose weight now, that he said, right, here's how you do it, because you've mentioned it, I can now do it for you. So he was great. He never ever made me feel crap about it before. So he showed me what to do, and I was like, to be honest, Ben, I was like, I want to lose 10 stone. And he said, that's ambitious, but we'll see how we do. And my boyfriend at the time, who is now my ex-boyfriend, so let's leave it like that, he was like, you won't do that. And I did. So yeah. So that
is good. And this is in no defense of that, but being an overweight person myself, I think it becomes, people just have that expectation, like, I've been dieting on and off for forever, and I can lose weight when my mind's on it. I can lose weight, but I will. I 3 separate occasions I've lost either almost or 5 stone.
Yeah.
Every single time I've put it back on again after, because I just can't, like,
it's hard to maintain. And I think that's probably one of the things, if I had a magic wand and I could improve something, I don't think we truly understand obesity. I don't think we understand the science of it and why some people are more affected than others. But we are, and you are where you are. I think it was the first time that I'd properly taken it seriously, I'd say, and it wasn't like I was doing all the science with it. High protein, low calorie, just go for it.
All the apps.
All the apps. And it is a lot easier than it was. I was forced to do Weight Watchers when I was a teenager, and I hated it because it was difficult to track. But the apps now are so good. You can just scan stuff and it just sort of does it for you. So I just thought, well, I'm just going to see if I can do it. And I'd lost between 3 and 4 stone, and then my boyfriend left me in quite a horrible, horrible way. And then after that, I was like, do you know what? I'm sad. Let's just go for it. If you already feel sad, and dieting does, like,
that's so good, because I do think, see, that's really odd to me that you're like, do you know what? I'm already in misery. I may as well make myself feel worse by dieting more.
Yeah,
because I would have totally gone for the comfort food. Like, that's my relationship with food is toxic.
It's 100% that, and that's what mine was. If I'm being, now I can look back on it and I can see it was a problem. It was a food addiction. I'd hide jars of empty Nutella around the house and stuff like that to, like, kind of hide what I'd done, what I'd eaten. A proper addiction to sugar. And I don't really think it's when people talk about, oh, you've lost weight. Actually, no, I really have come over an addiction. And comfort eating is like the easy. I mean, if a friend comes round, what do? Like, you're having a celebration, you get some cake. It's like the easiest thing to do, isn't it? celebration at Christmas is all around food. Everything revolves around food. It's so hard to not treat it as a comfort.
God, yeah, and no one's there like happy birthday, and they come out with a
Yeah.
candle and lettuce. Like it's not it's not the same. Plus, also, it doesn't taste nice, healthy food, which is I was going to go. I maintain cucumber. So I just random. I once on my many diets, and this one was a long time ago. I was like, oh, I'd read something, and it was like celery has negative calories, and my brain's just like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll just eat celery.
Eat celery, yeah.
Right. So I was on the way to work, and I bought like this thing of celery where they like, I don't know, sellotape it together or elastic band it together. There's loads in there. Took a bite. I don't know if it's how you meant. I'd only ever had it with like tomato juice and vodka.
Yeah.
And it's disgusting.
Yeah.
I nearly threw up, and I was like, well, there you go. That's the end of the diet.
Yeah.
That was my whole plan was just to eat celery all day and then maybe have like a real meal in the evening. But it's disgusting.
Yeah, and I can honestly tell you, and I know that there are people who are, and this is one of the things that I'd like to improve, I think people's opinions on stuff, but we'll get on to that in a minute. I know there are people around me who are very worried that I lost weight quickly and I was quite fixated on it. I can tell you hand on heart, it was the healthiest way I've ever achieved anything. I didn't cut anything, you know. If I wanted something, I just allowed for it and found a space for it. Yeah, it is tough because just being in a calorie deficit just means that your body's not getting all the fuel it requires because you're forcing it to be like, can you try and eat that pizza that you ate last week that you stored in your ass? Can you do that? And once your body like realizes that, then it's fine. But you know, for me this week, I've been back doing that, and my body's like, "What are you doing? This is awful. I can't cope with this." And I think that's what people get scared of. That I'm very conscious of the body positive movement and how, you know, again, where we are so afraid of that diet culture and people are quite anti-diet and you shouldn't be doing this, but actually no, I couldn't live how I was living, you know, that couldn't have gone on.
And I suppose so body positive, it is people all shapes and sizes, be happy in the skin you're in, right? But surely though, if you are not happy in the skin you're in and you diet or eat more or whatever it is, as long as you're happy in the new skin you're in, then that's being body positive, right?
Yeah, it's a very odd thing. I sort of felt like I was betraying my own community in, you know, I was very proud of being a fat girl. I was dressed well. I was very proud of it. And then I felt like I was betraying people by going, actually, do you know what? I want to be a bit smaller. And it was weird to sort of leave that because it felt like I was being quite rational about it. I was going, right, if I make these like changes to my life, then I can live a better life. Whereas it felt like everything else I knew was going, no, you have a fatty liver, you just sit there and deal with it. You know, it just, that was what it felt like to me. And, you know, when I talk about improving losing weight, I don't think there is a lot you can do to improve it. It is what it is. But I think people's opinions around it are that if you could not see anyone whilst you're losing weight, it would be easy, I think.
Yeah. So you come from a real different side, kind of having that, like for me, I look at it that we have work functions. I look at it, I'm the fattest person in the room and I'm very self-conscious about it. To me, no one, as far as I'm aware, no one looks at it in that way apart from me. Yeah. Which is why I know that it's not kind of healthy mentally. Because I'm sat there thinking, oh my God, I look around and think, well, that's it. Everyone is going to make the same kind of judgment that I have. My friends, kind of largest out of them. And I am big. I'm lucky that I'm kind of 6 foot. And so actually I've got a little bit more leeway. Yeah. But I'd tell you, it's actually, so just to, I'm jumping around a little bit, but what you said about the Barbie movie and Bridget Jones, and I say back in that was Bridget Jones was fat. Now for a man's side, we have the dad bod, and we see yeah, I know, a Hemsworth, and he's got a little bit of a pie. It's like, oh, it's the sexy dad
Yeah.
bod. Like my dad bod looks like I've eaten 5 children. Like that's
Yeah.
that's my dad bod. Is yes,
Yeah.
I just can't
It's
stop eating
crazy.
children.
Yeah.
And it does. And you go online, you see people say, "Well, it's easy to this way, just eat less." Oh yeah, that's just easy, isn't it? You just change
Nice.
you change 40 years of mental,
It's
being going to school and or your parents saying, "Eat everything on your plate."
yeah.
This,
It is weird because like the basic science of it does make sense. You have to consume less than you're burning. Right. It makes sense.
yeah,
That makes sense. And
totally,
like I trust the process, I get it, that makes sense to me. But it's just not always possible. And everything around it makes it difficult. And some weeks, especially if you're a woman, sometimes there is no logic to weight loss. Like there are weeks where I've been like really, I've not stepped a foot out of, healthy eating this week and I've put on a pound. And then there have been weeks where I've gone out on the lash and lost 3.
yeah,
Sometimes there is no logic to it. You just have to trust it.
yeah,
And it's a really weird, simple thing, but is somehow impossible to do.
yes, yeah. The premise, like I said, the premise of it
Yeah.
is extremely easy. It's why I won't diet with my. I'll be supportive if my wife wants to diet or eat healthy or
Yeah.
whatever the correct term for it is these days. I will support, but I won't actively do it with, or like I will, but I won't discuss with us because I will lose weight a lot.
Yeah, men do. Yeah.
Initially, I can lose half a stone in a week.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's the
Yeah.
dream. The first month, I will just drop
Yeah.
so much weight. And I say, my wife will. It'll be a little bit, and
Yeah.
she'll be so strict, way more
Yeah.
strict than I ever am. And it's a half a pound, a pound.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
sometimes I go, and then not lose anything
Yeah.
for weeks.
Yeah. And
And
then if it's your
it's
time of your
mental.
month, I can put on
That's
half a
it.
stone. And that's why one of the things that I really hate is BMI. We should just get rid of BMI. Just get rid of it. It just doesn't make sense.
No.
It doesn't make sense. It's not a measure of anyone's health. It's just a fake concept just to get people out of stuff. The problem that I've got is that I've lost a lot of weight and the skin stays behind.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had skin surgery on top that I've had to pay for, but my tummy tuck and my thighs I've actually got on the NHS, which I've been incredibly lucky to get. Like it's beyond rare to get skin surgery on the NHS, but they hold the BMI scale over my head, which is nonsense because they could weigh me on a week where I'm due on and I'll be over the BMI.
Yeah.
Get rid of it.
You could just
get rid of it.
Cut off a leg.
Yeah, exactly.
If I cut off a leg, I think I'll be under my BMI.
The fact that my personal trainer, who is like absolutely stacked full of muscle, is morbidly obese because of that's what. And I think again, that's what annoys me about losing weight. You're not losing weight; you're losing body fat. That's what we should name it. You're losing body fat.
Yeah,
because weight is everything. Weight is water. Weight is muscle. It's everything. And actually, what you're doing is reducing the amount of fat your body is holding.
I'm constantly dehydrated, which means my body constantly holds water somewhere. If I just drink the correct amount of water for a week, I lose weight because it's just flushing out from all the little bits where it's holding it just in case I find myself in a desert or something. I
was reading an article the other week where this woman was like very anti-slimming clubs, which I also am and I think that's part of the bad diet culture. But if it works for you, it works for you, but it's just not for me. And she was saying that she worked out that if she drank a bottle of wine the night before her weigh-in, because her body was dehydrated, she'd always lose 2 pounds.
Yeah.
And she was like, so I was just drinking a bottle of wine each weigh-in. Oh, just like, that's not good for me, is it? And so, the fact that we're it's such a I'm trying to the people that have never had to worry about their weight, it's such a hard concept for them to understand. I don't know if you find the same. So I'm saying to my friend, it is a numbers game. Unfortunately, it is a numbers game. I have to hit these targets. I have to eat this, this, and this. And they're going, yeah, but I think one of the things that I don't like is when people go, oh, you're a bit obsessive about this.
You have to
But
be.
you have to be.
Yeah.
It takes all your brain power. You have to be. If you lose it, if you're like me and you get triggered by, something, I'll go and eat 4 jars of Biscoff spread easily without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
And I have to. It's something I have to control all the time. And what I'm aware of is that, the body positivity people would go, well, that's something you have to control. You have to think about that all the time. That's not good for you. That's not healthy. But, that's the choice that I've made. And I think what people don't like, and I think this is why maybe I've lost a couple of friends on the way, is I don't think people like it if you just say that life is better once you've lost weight. It's a really, and I understand it. I get it, because I remember when Adele lost weight and I was really upset by it, because I just thought, oh, I've lost a role model. I've lost one of mine. I've lost one of my own. And now I've kind of got the other side of it. I totally get it, because, oh my God, my life's amazing now. I can do things. It's just this.
This is a real because it's so certain amount of it how it was. So you've lost friends because you choosing just to, like, if you change your hair color, like, it's not. But that seems really, I don't know, alien to me. I don't quite get that. But also, it's a representation thing. So with Adele, it was part of a community.
Yeah.
Which is that's what. But I don't mix in a similar kind of circle. So that's I find it quite interesting.
I see it where I follow people on Instagram. They've always been, plus size advocates or stuff like that. They're plus size models, and they go, actually, do you know what? I'm getting a bit unhappy, and I'm making some small changes to my life, and I'm going to lose weight with it. And then the amount of abuse they get, they're just going, oh, you're part of the problem. You've fallen, you're doing it because it's patriarchy. It's like, what about it? Laura Lex has a very good joke on it, the comedian. She just says, it's nothing to do with a man. I just don't want my thighs to rub together. It's just, it's just, it's insane. People's opinions on it are what I want to improve.
Because this is, I suppose, a big part of this podcast really is hearing people's opinions on things and their experience with certain things, and we kind of have a rant, we have a laugh, and at some point maybe I get someone from the other side on. But what it always comes down to is one person surely being happy within themselves, and it doesn't matter the community that you're part of, if you are happy, and whether that's what size you are, what sex you are, what relationship you're in, what why do other people feel like they've got this control over how someone wants to feel and look? And
so the thing that really gets me, and I know they mean well, but for me to lose that much amount of weight, it took my brain a little while to catch up with what had happened. And so it'd be things like, there was this one time I got in my car and I was like, oh, I'm really far away from the steering wheel. I felt like my seat had been adjusted. But I was like, my legs are right, my mirrors are right, no one's been in this car. And actually what I'd realised was that I hadn't moved, but there was less of me. So there was like more space between me and the steering wheel. And just those sorts of things that your brain just doesn't catch up with. I was training with my PT and he was like, you're doing a really weird thing when you're lifting. And he's like, and I realised, he's like, you still think your stomach's there. So like, it's just muscle memory. Your brain doesn't catch up with it. And one of the things I found really helpful, and I still do, are before and after pictures. I have to I look at them and I see what it was and it just helps my brain comprehend them. And you know what? Yeah, I'm proud of it. I'm going to show off. I'll post it on my Instagram and stuff like that. And then I get someone, and I know they mean well. You were beautiful before and you're beautiful now. And I absolutely want to punch a wall when people say that, because I never ever said that I wasn't beautiful. I hate it. I hate the assumption that people are saying that. You are making the assumption that I'm saying that. You are saying that,
sometimes social experiment, do it the other way around.
Yeah.
As this is, you now as the before and you then as the after, and see what the reaction is like then, because I don't know, people have positive, negative, especially on social media where everyone can be just behind an avatar and say feels like they can
But these
say
are
whatever they want. But
these are like acquaintances that say it. You know what I mean? People
you
feel sort of it just, and also, you know what? If I didn't think I was beautiful before, that's okay. I'm all right.
Yeah.
It's me. I'm allowed to say what I want about myself. You know, was it beautiful that I was really crippled by an addiction to food? No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine to admit that you've moved on. And I think, I mean, this is kind of what I'm writing my show about. I think losing weight isn't necessarily. It's not a you've lost weight and now you're happy now. It's not that at all. And for me, it's like quite a lot of harsh realities of dealing with like the skin that's left afterwards and things. But it is just a fact that I can do more things now that make me happy. So I wanted to do Lindy Hop dancing since I was like 15. It's like a jive that they did during World War II.
Right.
And I was never fit enough to do it. I just wasn't fit enough. And then I'd lost about 5 stone and I gave it a go, and it's absolutely changed my life overnight. Like I went to this class and loved it, and I met all these people. I mean, the joke is that I've sort of joined a cult with it.
Or a different cult by the sounds of it.
A different cult. But I met these people and I can't really describe it. They just do things together. So I just got these bunch of new friends that would go and do things together. I learned how to roller skate. Who had that on the cards for me to go and learn how to roller skate? I wouldn't, like, the wheels would have collapsed when I put them on before. And now roller skating is like one of my favorite things. I climbed Scarfell Pike last year.
Wow.
And, you know, it's insane to me that I did that. And what also really shocked me about that was I was really worried about how I wouldn't cope with it. And we did it. And I was like keeping up with the others. Yeah. And everyone's going, well, yeah, of course you would. You train at the gym 5 times a week. Why wouldn't you? And,
but your mind's still...
Your mind is still there. And I think the thing that I think this is why people have problems. I think when someone makes clear changes to their life, I think you become a mirror.
Yeah.
And some people, when they see that, they're inspired by themselves. They make their own, they'll do whatever it is they want to do. Someone's taken control over their lives, and that's it. And to other people, you're just showing them that they're not, and their way of dealing with that is just to put you down.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. I think that's with the "you were beautiful before," those sort of comments. I think there is an undertone of that, of just saying, you didn't need to do that. You didn't need to put yourself through that. Well, actually, yeah, I did.
Yeah. And they're thinking, well, I don't want to go through that. So it's projecting that is still, which, maybe it is, but also that's just taking an aesthetic thing. You kind of touched on it about the food addiction isn't beautiful. You mentioned the jars of Nutella hiding. Yeah. That's not an attractive trait.
No.
So you were beautiful. Yeah, aesthetically, why not?
Yeah.
But everything that comes with that, and that's that the mental burden, health, whatever it is. But you're that different person now, and I think people shouldn't be allowed to kind of make those judgments. And you know what, if someone is a mirror to you and it does make you face up to it, maybe you want to change as well, and you just don't want to admit it to yourself. I'm the forever always dieter. I know everything there is to know about all the diets, all nutritions, exercises. I could probably quite successfully help someone lose weight, become healthy.
Yeah.
I have a block.
Yeah.
I just can't do it myself. If I'm in the zone, I can do it for at top 6 months. And then all of a sudden something will happen.
Yeah.
And I lose it. And I've got no motivation for it.
It is life. So got a friend who reached out for me because, you know, now I'm seen as a success story. She was sort of asking for help, and I was explaining to her that she has a child, that she's, you know, a young child. She studies and she works. She's got a completely different life to me. I've been very privileged. I work from home, so it's easy for me to control what I eat during the day, and also I can go to the gym. I also live at home with my parents because life went terribly wrong for me, but that allows me that I've got no responsibility in the house. I can just eat what I need to eat, go and do my exercise, and that's how I've done it. You know, there's no. I just had life circumstances that were a bit crappy at the start, but actually it was the perfect conditions for me to go, no, I'm getting rid of this. I'm dealing with this now, rather than 10 years down the line when it's like I've become really ill because of it.
That is really, that is important. What you said, everyone's situation is different. And so you're seen as a success story. I'm doing air quotes, not that people will be able to see that on a podcast, but you're a success, but also to some you're a traitor, to some you're a success story. I mean, for you, you're just you. But it is important to know if anyone is looking to kind of start a journey, it is that mental. But it's also the big thing is it's about punishment. You know, diets are punishment for previous lives, and also it's fitting in. If you have a lot of stress in your life, it may at that moment in time may not be the best time to start just ignoring food and being hungry a lot, and or having to think about one extra thing all the time. Everyone is different, and sometimes small steps, you know, not everyone so may be able to lose 10 stone in 18 months, but you lose 10 stone in 2 years.
You know, it's I think people find an exercise that you like doing, because exercise shouldn't be a punishment for what you've eaten. It should be celebrating about what your body can do. And for me, I will admit this, I swapped the food addiction for an exercise addiction. I have to move every day. Not really for what it does to, like, because you can't really count how many calories it burns. It's impossible anyway. But I have to for my mental health. I have to go and lift some weights just to help it's the best thing. And for me, that was when I knew I was going to do it, was when how much I loved being able to move my body more. Great. The fact that I can go dancing. I can go dancing for 3 hours. I go dancing probably twice a week for a good sort of 2-3 hours, and I'm fine. Yeah. All right. This is not going to be sustainable for the rest of my life. I know that. I can't, you know, I go to gyms 5 times a week. I'm dancing, I'm walking. I can't do that for the rest of my life. But at this moment in time, I can.
And you couldn't do
just love
18
it.
months ago. Yeah. And that's fantastic. Had you tried dieting or anything before? Nothing serious there.
Nothing, you know, you just go, oh, I won't eat chocolate for a bit, or we'll be healthy. I mean, it's 100% easier doing it single. I mean, towards the end, me and my ex had a bad relationship, and food was the only thing we had in common. So it would be, we'll eat a Terry chocolate orange every night, one each, that sort of thing. And like sugar is addictive. I read something that Chris Pratt, talking about Marvel earlier, he said, because obviously he had to shift quite a lot of weight for Guardians. And he was like a chunky fella before, and he was saying nothing, you know, the days that he could eat 5 cheeseburgers and think nothing of it, he said nothing will ever beat that. He was really happy then. He loved it. It was great. But now obviously he's like on a lean diet and stuff, and he goes, I don't really get that high that I did before, but actually I feel so much better, and that's my high. That's what, you know. So I would eat the 5 cheeseburgers and go, right, this is great, but then I feel constantly ill all the time. And it's like, but now I don't feel that. And that is, I think that's how I feel. So like, you know, all right, after Christmas I ate biscuits like they were air, and that first week of going back into the calorie deficit was awful. And I mean, I went bowling at the weekend. I haven't been bowling for years, and I just hated it, because what I've worked out is that if you're calorie deficit, if you're cutting out 500 calories, I don't know about you, but for me that 500 calories is my temper. and when they're gone, I can't mask it. Oh, I'm angry. I absolutely hated bowling. I couldn't control my anger. I was like, I'm so hungry. Because it's just your body not used to it. You're like you are fine. You're not going to die, but your body's not used to it. And I just couldn't control it. This week, I'm fine. I feel great, and nothing's changed. I'm eating the same amount of calories. It's just my body's got used to it, and it's just like, all right, we feel better now. I've got a bit more energy.
Yeah.
But it's just a hard thing to do, and I think people think, it's stressful for the body, but it is. But that's okay. It's like cold water swimming. That's stressful for the body, but it's like a healthy thing to shock your body. And yeah,
keep it guessing. Do you know? Oh, I'm sad. I think because we're taught. Well, by the time this goes out, it's going to be, I don't know, maybe end of February time. We're talking right now. It's January. Within the first 2 weeks of January.
Oh yeah, I know the gym's full of assholes.
Yes. That's right. They'll be gone by February.
Hey, no, so we get a new wave because we get the people that do January and they don't keep it up, and then we get the February people who think they're smugger and somehow they're worse.
I didn't join with the fad.
I didn't join. I'm doing it seriously. Honestly, last week when I was in the calorie deficit, and every time I went to the gym and I couldn't do the workout I needed to do, I was just. It's the couples I can't deal with. I hate them. Oh, you're in a lovely supporting relationship, turning up to the gym together, working out together. Just off. Just get out of my face. Do you not realise you go to the gym to avoid each other? You get away from each other. Don't. No. Shut up.
You're a proper gym bro now.
I am, and I had this thought the other day, and I was like, it doesn't matter what time of day I go to the gym. I always see the same people here, and I was like, oh no, I am one of them. It's me. Hi.
So that's it. It's just substituting weight loss groups for gym people. I
don't speak to anyone at the gym. I don't speak to anyone. I mean, like, you have the nod, but that's the thing. I had someone message me going, oh, I'd love to do what you do, but I'm so anxious about going to the gym because I don't want people to look at me. No one cares about anyone else in the gym. Like, we're all too busy looking at ourselves.
Well, exactly. And also, funny enough, the first ever episode of this was with a guy, Hetty Austin. He's a creative director for Exit 6 Film Festival. There you go. So I'm going to promote that. Because what I can do on YouTube is I can now add that episode at the end. And so people are like, oh, what did Carl have to say? But he's a proper gym bro and has been for it. So I've known the guy 20 years. He's, keeps himself in good condition. I don't. I go to the gym for a period of time and then I'll stop. Yeah. And then I'll start again and then I'll stop. But sometimes I'm really serious about it. And I get in there and I've got my routines and I've been going, like, it's my 4th time in 2 weeks. So I'm like, who's on my machines? What's going on?
Someone's on my cross trainer.
No. I'm always on that one, and I'm looking around. Where's Jackie? Jackie, have you seen this? And they're like,
"Get off."
You? We passed each other once, but he was talking about people who, like, what they wear in the gym, and I get people with the chains and sliders and stuff, and it's just all vanity. Things. But then it's hard there, like, thinking, oh, God, those people I would probably hate those people. But then, is it because it's a mirror and I could be that, but I'm not that? Or am I just judging people? And I hate the fact that people judge people, but I'm going to judge people because I want to look like that, but I don't want to act like that.
I think I just don't care. I go to the gym in my rollers. Like, I set my hair like a granny. I dress vintage. So I roll my hair and I work out and I go to the gym in my rollers and I know people are looking. Look, and I think
as long as you don't go in like your pajamas.
No, I don't. Do
70s nightgown. It's vintage.
I think it is an ego thing because, oh God, I'm going to sound like a right prick when I say this, but there are like some big, like, what I would say, beefy men, they're really going for it in the
Yeah.
gym and stuff. And like sometimes they're in my way, or like they're, or they're just around me, and I can tell they're just thinking, oh God, what's she doing? And I feel like saying, mate, I've had a better fitness journey than anyone in this gym. I could put money on it that I have, and there's a real cockiness to me about it now that I feel like, no, I deserve to be here. I am going to shout at you if you're in my way.
Damn straight.
The kids, I don't like, they can get out. Like, I know I'm a 33-year-old woman who has a boring job. I need to be on this cable machine, not you.
I've literally lost as much weight as you weigh, so I suggest you get out.
Yeah. Oh, that was another thing I hated when I was like losing weight, was when there'd be like some skinny woman going, oh my God, you've lost as much as I weigh. Isn't that weird? Like, if I'd lost all that weight that you've lost, I just wouldn't exist. But you're still here. You're still a normal person.
You're still here.
Oh God, I hate you.
But you're still here. I could have crawled inside of you.
Yeah.
And
yeah. You could have carried me on your back. Oh, I hate. It's awful. It's really awful. What people say is just, I'm funny.
Man.
But I think the other side of it is when and I haven't had it for a while, because I think certainly after lockdown and stuff, people hadn't seen you for a while. It's quite that's quite a fun game. If I met up with a friend that I hadn't seen for 5 years, and he went, I don't mean this rudely, but he's like, I can't get used to your face. It's putting me off. It's like, it's weird. It's like an AI Hetty. I can't cope with it. That is nice. That is nice.
Yeah.
Like when you see people out and about. I saw my neighbour, when I lost about 8 stone, I saw my neighbour out, and she didn't say hello to me. I thought, oh, she's being bloody rude. And then it turns out she just didn't know who I was. She just didn't recognise me. She's not seen me for a while. Oh, okay. All right.
And that's a good feeling, isn't it? If you want it to be a good feeling, it's a good feeling.
It is a good feeling.
I'm really confused about the dialogue around it now. But for you, if it's a good feeling, then it's a good feeling.
Yes, because people are like, oh, you shouldn't compliment people for losing weight. And I understand that. I understand it. I understand that you shouldn't. But for me, I've been very honest about it. I've been really transparent about it from day one. And I've worked hard for it. So I do want people to. I think that's kind of what I'm doing with. Oh, this sounds really like, really up stuff. That's what I'm trying to do with my comedy, my art. It's just talk about the realities of it. Talk about how hard it is. Talk about what it's like to have, a collapsed stomach, because like there's so much skin on it now, and like what it's like going to see a plastic surgeon to do the tidy up job, because oh God, plastic surgeons just have no filter. They're just every bad thought you've ever thought about yourself, they'll tell you and put it in black and white. I got a boob job basically. I got so far I've had my arms lifted and a boob job, and I have medical letters from professional doctors where they've described my breasts as low and empty. No, those not words you want to hear.
That's a Tinder profile.
Yeah, low and empty. Now they're full and put. But that is, when I talk about that on stage, I'm very like, I talk about the fact I've had a boob job, and I'm like, well, that's in the whole room. Now people now staring at my boobs. It's all right. I've paid enough for them, so look at them. And I think that's because I saw Sarah Millican talk about dieting the other day, and I thought, I wonder if she gets away with it because she talks about it failing. Whereas for me, when I was doing that gig for the Inspirational Women, I was really nervous about talking about losing weight because I didn't want to offend anyone. And I thought, it might be full of people going that you don't need to do it. But I think because I specifically add the line in it, I know that weight loss is completely nuanced. It's really complicated. I think that everybody is valid at every size, including my own, which is why I do the hell I like with it. Because and then that sort of covers me. And then because I think I talk about the realities of what it's like, and the progression of it's not necessarily a happy ending. It is a happy ending, but it's not a linear progress. I think I get away with it because it's quite self-deprecating still. But yeah, I think I think for me, I've got no shame. I've got no shame in talking about it. And I think because it came I did it in a year where like everything in my life changed. Everything did a 180, and I found all these new people through dancing. That just saved my life, really, because if I hadn't met them, I might have lost the weight, but I wouldn't really had anything to live for. They've given me something to live for, and actually, it was finding exercise and being fit enough to do it. Dancing is, if anyone listening to this wants to do an exercise, go do dancing, because it's the best exercise, because you don't realize. But as soon as I started dancing, my weight loss increased straight away.
Really?
Straight away. Yeah. It's a great way to meet people. I teach it as well now. That's how insane life has got for me. I started this dance class, and now I'm like part of the teaching rota.
That's great. Just listen to you talk then, and almost the weight loss is almost the byproduct.
It's irrelevant.
Yeah, it's you have a new life. Yes, okay. The most striking thing that people will notice first off is the fact that you've lost an entire another human being that they're going to remind you of, but you've got this life. You haven't actually lost. People, there's
I haven't lost anything. I've gained. Yeah,
exactly. You gain a new life at a time, like I say. And thank you for being so honest about it. When you needed something different, and actually the being healthier, the weight loss, did give you the ability to put yourself in a situation where life starts again. And so that should be celebrated. And it's great for people to be body positive. It's great for people to celebrate looking however, but you found a whole new life.
I think we have this weird thing where we think self-care is, I'll have a bubble bath and I'll, do a bit of meditation. But actually self-care is really ugly. It's like looking at what self-sabotaging traits have you got that is making your life difficult. And mine was food. It was, I would get in from work and I would eat like 4 tortilla wraps, just as a snack, because I was depressed and tired.
It's I'm picking something up for dinner, but what I'll grab is a Ginsters pasty just for the way home, because I'm actually getting a bit peckish. I don't like this, because you're really making me think about how I approach everything.
It's hard.
We're talking out loud about what I constantly say and what I constantly, and it's great. At this one point, you just thought, do you know what? This is my time. And that's what it is. It has to be mentally. People who go into it half cocked and they're like, oh yeah, you know what? It's Monday. It's the 1st of February. I'm gonna go and do this, but they're not prepared.
Yeah, I think people like constantly ask me, what's your motivation? Like, how do you stay motivated? Well, I can't lie. Having a breakup is part of it, but really, if I'm being really honest, if I was motivated every time I went to the gym, I'd probably go twice. It's not motivation, it's consistency. Motivation comes after you've done it. I don't wait for motivation. It's just putting one foot in front of the other consistently, and just be prepared that it's going to be a slog and it's going to be hard. And there are going to be days where you hate everything and want to ram a bowling ball in someone's face. But, if I could, last week, if I could feel how I felt this week, I would have felt better. I never ever, I always forget to trust the process. But, yes, it is hard counting my food. Yes, I do feel sad that I can't eat like a normal person. But hey, do you know what? I've got other things.
You can dance.
I've got a credible windy habit.
That's really good. And I suppose the motivation now is, if you go back to old habits, then you won't be able to continue realistically to do things that you love now. So what better?
Yeah.
Motivation is there?
So I've had this leg injury, and over Christmas I found December tough. I got myself a little bit low, and I found myself like reaching for the biscuit tin, and I've put on a bit of weight. And last week I was totally bereft by it. Because I've got this surgery over. They could call me any day for this surgery, and I'm really afraid of what they're going to say if I'm overweight. Which is why it's crap. Get rid of BMI, because anyway, that's a whole other thing. But it's good to feel. I think it's good to slip up and not slip up, but it's. I did that. It felt good at the time, but I can recognize those habits in me now.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. Whereas before, I think it's like any addiction. Yeah, I'll eat a Kit Kat. Oh, I feel crap now. Let's have another Kit Kat. But actually, now it's no. Come on, go to the gym for an hour. You'll feel better. Go out dancing. You'll feel better. Yeah, and it's a hard slog, and there are days where I absolutely hate it, and I feel like my brain just. I feel like sometimes it feels like a prison, and I'm just doing everything I can just to maintain it. But when I think about what it means for me, it is worth it.
The reality is as well is it's life extension, quality of life extension, but also just that actual physical time, because that's one thing I'm not really afraid of a lot of things. Like I'm very much in time without getting too deep and serious that death comes to us all. And a few years back, probably despite having children, it's like, well, everyone's day comes, but actually now I get a bit older, I'm thinking, well, do you know what? I really need to put, I gave up smoking and things like that. I walk a bit more, despite still being overweight and unhealthy with food. But I am thinking more and more like, oh, I'd actually maybe need to scrape back a few more years.
Yeah, I was frightened when when I couldn't wear red lipstick, and it really questioned, what am I doing this for? It's a weird thing. And when I was saying, I had a break from comedy. I wasn't going to go back to it. I had the break up whilst I was doing all of this. You can't lose weight whilst you're doing comedy because it's difficult. You have to have McDonald's most nights. You just do if you're out about. Actually, I haven't said that. McDonald's is one of the best places to eat because they do a wrap and I can have it. We went out for a podcast meeting. We always have a McDonald's after we record something. And Nathan was put on a diet before his operation. He's had testicular cancer, so it's all I know. It's all everybody talks about it. It's fine. So he's put on a diet because his blood pressure was a bit high, and we went out for lunch. And he's like, "It's all right. I can have a sandwich in a pub, can't I?" And I went, "I'm not sure you can." And he's like, "Yeah, it'll be fine." And we got there and we opened up the menu, and I was like, "Look at all these calories on this."
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, "I can't have anything in here." I was like, "Yes, welcome to my life." And then I was like, to be honest with you, the best place we can go is McDonald's because you can have a wrap there and it's not too bad. It's all right. And we went to McDonald's and he had a wrap and I had a salad. And we sat opposite Sanjay, who had 2 chicken Big Macs. He had 5 chicken selects, chips, a milkshake, and an apple pie. And Nathan was like, this is I hate him. I want to strike him.
He did it on purpose.
No, really. This is just Sanjay. That's just like just the normal order. It's normally me whilst they're both ordering that sort of amount of food, and I'm like the healthy one. And Nathan was just like, "Oh my god, how have you done this for 3 years?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's hard, mate." But it just. I actually have a video of that. I'm going to post it because it is so funny. Nathan's hatred in his face, whereas I'm sort of used to it now. I think it was quite nice it was funny someone else going through it with you, but
I just need to see. I need to see that amount of food. That's impressive.
I mean, it's insane. I mean, Sanjay's been to my house once, and he's had. This was back in my bigger days. I used to bake a lot. I used to make massive cookies. He had 2 of them and a slab of cake, and he's diabetic. And he's like, "My eyes are really itchy now."
Diabetic.
Oh, mate.
Diabetic. God. Oh man.
So it was fun. Yeah, I'm very lucky in the friends that I've got, and that if I can go to them, I'm going to come out with you, but I'm not going to drink, and I'm not going to eat with you. If that's all right. And they're all like, yeah, they get it, they understand it. Whereas other people can be like, "Oh, it's only one drink," or "Oh, you can have a night off," or "You can do this." But actually, me letting go for 5 minutes sometimes means that's letting go for 4 days, and actually, it's not worth it. You know, you choose. I always say to my friends, I have to choose where my calories go, and I have to plan my week. And yeah, that's, again, like I said, it's not sustainable forever, but for now it is.
Yeah.
And whilst it is, I'm going to do it because it makes me feel better.
And fair play. And fair play to you. And well done to you. And you should celebrate it.
Okay.
And you should be allowed to just do whatever the hell you want. If you want to
You
celebrate
should.
it, if you want to hate yourself, but still go dancing, then so goddamn well what?
Just
Like,
do it.
fine.
Just do it. If there's anything in your life that you think, this was the biggest problem in my life. In a weird, it's just been ever since I can remember. I've always remembered weight being a problem, and now that I can, address it and work on it, just feels like, what else can't I do? It's such a weird way. And I think that's why when I came back to comedy and I was talking about all these things that I've done in this last, 2-3 years, not just through weight loss, but all the things that I've done when I've joined this cult. It's just my comedy is better, and I'm really getting a different reaction from audiences when I'm talking about weight loss. I get women come up and hug me afterwards because they're like, I lost weight, but I hate it what my body looked like, and you've just made it okay to talk about it and stuff like that. It's weird.
Yeah.
But I think I sort of think, you know what, that was meant to happen.
And do you know what? We spoke earlier about Adele and representation and people looking, but actually now you're the new,
yes,
you're representing.
I read an interview where she was addressed the backlash that she got for losing weight, and she was like, it's not up to me how someone feels about themselves. And I think, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
it's not up to you. How if you feel a certain way, if someone's making you feel a certain way, that's on you. It's not on me.
Right. We've touched it quite a bit, but this is the moment in the show where I say that. First of all, thank you. And it's been good for me.
That was a TED talk.
It has been.
That was a HET talk.
I love that. Oh, now that's a series, and you ain't have Sanjay just going off and doing whatever Sanjay does. But yeah, okay. So, reality or fantasy? How do we make it better? First of all, what's it we make it better? We're talking the conversation, the mindset around it.
Yeah, I think there is no way of improving losing weight. I think it is hard. It's difficult.
If we made celery taste like chocolate, that'd be good.
I don't think it's impossible. I don't. So I've lost 10 stone. It's been hard, but it's not been. This is the worst thing I've ever done in my life. It's small changes make big differences. And I think even if there was a magic wand that would do it, I think there'd be a consequence. I think a lot of the quick fixes around there have consequences, and I think you need to address the issues around it.
Yeah.
So I think always. I think people need to respect people about it a bit more. I think that's what I'd like to improve. If someone's telling you they're losing weight, be mindful of it. Maybe don't bring cake into the office. Maybe just don't do it. Don't force them out. If you want to meet up with them, maybe go out for a walk or something like that. Don't be like, oh, let's go out for a drink. Let's go out and have lunch and stuff. Or if you are asking them, ask them if there's anywhere else you'd like to go where there's something you can eat. You can eat out. You can. It's not impossible. It just takes a little bit more planning. I think just be a bit more respectful of it. Yeah, they're gonna be angry. They're gonna be, it's tough. It's tough when your body is not fueling enough. Yeah, that's the reality of it. You haven't got time for anything. Just be allowing for people, I think, and just allow people to do what they want to do. If that's what they want to do, then just do it. Just be there. You'll get more out of them being their cheerleader than putting them down.
Bravo. That's okay. I think that's kind of perfect. I'll try not to ruin it by adding anything to that. Everyone's journey is individual, whether it's weight loss or overcoming addiction or
Yeah.
living life, going through breakups, starting life again, whatever it is, it's that person's journey, it's that person's story,
Yeah.
it's that, everyone's the main character in their own
We're
show,
all
right?
flawed, messy people.
Yeah, and don't judge other
And
people
that's
just
okay.
because you're feeling a bit crappy about yourself doesn't mean that what
Yeah.
someone else is doing is wrong or right, as long as they're not doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And I will, I'll add one bit. You and Sanjay have kindly agreed to join the live show for at Portsmouth Comic Con, which is on May the something. I think it's like 15th, right? So
Yeah.
from now, it's what, 4 months? I will eat nothing but sandwich. No, I'm gonna give it a crack because it's been playing on my mind, being on stage in front of it. It's been a while since I've done that. I've lived behind a screen for the last 3 years, and it's been playing on my mind. And for the last 4 months, it's been playing on my mind. I think, well, do you know what? Actually, I've got 8 months. I could probably lose.
Yeah.
I've got 6 months. I could probably lose quite a bit. Okay, I've got 5 months, and I'm in 4 months. I'm like, crap. Actually, Geoff, if you want to get up on that stage and feel confident in yourself, maybe it's time. So this has probably come at the perfect time.
All right.
Hopefully. That's it. And you know what? That's been made better. Now they had to. This is the real test, right? This is the real test because I see Sanjay came on and you guys got the podcast together.
Yeah.
Did you hear Sanjay's attempt at promoting the podcast?
I did, and I wanted my topic to be improving Sanjay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
did not do a good job.
Didn't. And now it's on me.
Now it's on you to try, just to give it a crack.
So all of the things we spoke about today, all my weird exercise hobbies we talk about on the podcast. So if you've enjoyed any of the things I've talked about, any of my dancing, roller skating, any of that sort of gym nonsense, we refer to it all the time in the podcast, which is called How Obsessed Are You? It is me, Sanjay Arif, and Nathan Eagle. We are three friends who met on the comedy circuit about 7 years ago. And really our friendship is the key bit to it because we don't hold back. We know each other enough to not be polite to each other one bit. And we are three people who get easily fixated on things. We get obsessed with something, and then we're like, right, I'm into this. This has changed my life now. Every problem I've ever had is now fixed. And we talk about that obsession. The other people scrutinize it, question it, and then quite often we drop that obsession a week later. So it's a short obsession. So we've had things like Nathan gets really obsessed with the Titanic every now and then. We've had Sanjay was obsessed with Nerf guns. I got into tarot cards at one point. That was quite a low point in my life. Yeah, that was mad. I got really obsessed with women's football for literally a week.
During the Euros.
Yeah. And we talk about it. We have a laugh. I mean, we stay on topic for about 40% of it. And then the rest is just nonsense. But that's the bit that people like. So it is, it's very enjoyable. We love doing it. We film it in my parents' shed. And it is wherever you get your podcast from. That's the line you've got to say. I think it's on everything. And it's not where you get your podcast from. Tell us, because we'll stick it on there. It is also on YouTube if you wish to watch it. You can see our beautiful faces. And we also have an Instagram page where we post like clips and sort of behind the scenes bits called How Obsessed Are You? And you can find me also on Instagram at Hetty Austin UK, where I document everything going on in my life. So if you want to see more of this, then join me there.
Is that all right? It was going so well, but then at the end, you just went, "Join me there."
Join me there. Like, yeah, I was just trying to think what things I've posted recently. My friend didn't because I am single. In case anyone's listening, I think that's the woman for me. Don't send me a dick pic. Actually, no, don't. He decided that he wanted to create the perfect man for me on AI, and he did, and it was just men on canal boats covered in biscuits. So that's on my Instagram if you want to see that. And then I post all my before and afters, and you can see all the people who are like, yeah, beautiful before. You can see all them, and then you know the secret that I really hate that. And when I'm like, oh, thank you, you know that's lies.
Yeah, you got the behind the scenes. Oh,
yeah.
Well, all of the links. I think all of the links they should be in the bio because yeah, they'll be in the bio for the episode, which will be on almost everywhere you get your podcast from. It's Geoff Jones and Friends Make It Better. Apart from it's not actually, as Sanjay sang about last time. It's on the main ones, and it's on YouTube now as well, though. But just as kind of podcasts and little videos. I started using Instagram as well. It's scary. Don't really know what I'm doing. But I think I followed you. I certainly followed the podcast.
Yes, I like Instagram. It's nice. I can't. TikTok scares me. I'm too old for TikTok.
I've generally just put a couple of things about my dog and like my dog asking questions right now.
No, I'm scared of people on TikTok. They have opinions, but Instagram, I have nice people. I post a lot about my weird outfits, and people are very supportive.
I went through a big tweed jacket phase. Big.
Nice.
But then I was like, oh, Geoff, you're too fat for that. Which is really sad. No, it just didn't feel... Well, I grew out of a couple of jackets and made me feel bad, so I never wore them again.
Well,
but, hey.
If it doesn't feel right for you, then it's not right for you. And you can change it, but only if you want to. Don't feel forced.
And if you want to, and not to make other people happy, but make you happy and change as much or as little as you want.
Yeah.
Whilst making yourself happy.
And come dancing. Can I promote that as well?
Yeah.
I'm in a group called Swing. No, it's not that called. It's called Portsmouth. It's just changed names because it used to be called Swing for All, and that sounded something very different.
Yeah.
It's called Portsmouth Lindy Hop, and you meet lots of people. You don't have to join the cult; that's optional. But we have a lovely time. But just come along, and we need more people that want to lead. We're struggling for leaders, so. If you're a man in your 30s and you're single and you're into what you've heard on this, come along. And I'll see you there. And it's like a little audition tape for you. And then if you laugh at my fart jokes and then you tell me you still want to be more than friends, then you're in.
It's important. Anyone looking to date Hetty,
okay with the farts.
You got to be okay with it, right? And there'll be conversations about it on the first date. And if you're not prepared for it, then you're not the right person. So move along. Keep swiping.
Yeah. Keep swiping. Keep going.
Is that a thing? Keep swiping.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not on the apps. I should be on the apps really, but I can't be bothered.
That Hetty, it's been. You know what? It's been. Not only has it been extremely funny and entertaining, it's been thoughtful and insightful as well. And it's been great to hear about your journey. The wind, the the good, the bad, and the windy. But and as people take inspiration from it, great. If they don't, that's fine. But leave your opinions to yourself because it's Hetty's goddamn life, and she'll do what the hell she wants with it. And on that note, it is a goodbye from me, your host Geoff Jones. Like and subscribe, and it's goodbye from Hetty. Say goodbye, Hetty.
Goodbye, Hetty, and everyone else,
and other people.